Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello? Hello?
This is the Golden State Killer. And I'm going to do something a little different. I've heard this story told a few times, but not in the way that I have. I've gotten a lot more details, kind of like search for the nooks and crannies. And
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. So I got a little extra to provide because not much was told about his upbringing. And I got a lot of that in this first episode. And a lot of times, this offender wasn't known for 42 years or over 42 years. So, instead of like just, going by the offender or what he was called by, we can always refer to him as Joseph James DeAngelo, because that's who he was identified by in 2018. And as we go along, I'll tell you very interestingly how that happened and how he was eventually found out and identified, because it's a really good story in itself. But the way we're going to start this one is, like I said, not by the offender or the suspect or the prowler, like people had to do before, because growing up, this story really got to me before I got really into true crime. I really started to get into it because of this story. And it was a story that just, like, for whatever reason was buried, because, you have your Zodiacs of the world, you have the I-5 killer that we profiled on this show before. You've had the Night Stalker. You've had
I remember him.
Yeah, and then you had which we did too, and then also you had Charles Manson. You had, what's that one killer, the Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
So you had all these killers on the California coast, basically, and that made and stole the headlines, but were killing around the same time. If you look up their stories, you may say Bundy's prolific as well, but this guy, the way that he killed DeAngelo and the way that he was so covert about it and the way that he did things, I think shoots him to the top of the list. I think he's like above
all time?
Yeah, I think in California history, he's got to be the biggest and worst.
So he was a huge creep, huh?
Oh yeah. Wait till we get into some of the specifics. This first episode will mainly be on his upbringing, and you can kind of see the warning signs.
Okay.
So let's start off by saying the many titles that this man had at times. From 1973 onward, he had many titles such as the Visalia Ransacker, the East Area Rapist, the Creep Killer, the original Night Stalker, and finally the Golden State Killer. Also, the Rancho Cordova Ransacker. So he had a lot of...
Dang! Okay, the only one I've known him for, from what you've told me, was the Golden State Killer. I did not know he had all those other titles to his name.
Yeah, because the Golden State Killer came from, I don't know if you know Patton Oswalt, but he did a lot of voices for Disney. He's a comedian, and he's also been on various TV shows. But his wife was Michelle McNamara, and she actually, during the late 90s, heard of this case, and it was dormant. Like, nobody was talking about it. And she got tired of it because she read up on all the things that he did. She interviewed the victims, and she's like, there's too many nicknames. We need something, because the original when you think Night Stalker, you think Richard Ramirez. And when they were able to all finally in the late 90s tie all these things together, she's like, he needs his own name. So she's the one that came up with the Golden State Killer.
Wow.
Yeah, and that kind of like gave it...
Did she trademark it?
No, but it's easily traced back to her. But let's get started on this story, shall we?
Please do, because I know since I met you, that was the first thing you told me was this guy, and I don't know much about him.
Yeah, I don't know details.
I don't know the details, so please inform us, sir.
Okay, I'll try to do my best. Joseph James DeAngelo Jr. was born November 8th, 1945 in Bath, New York.
Weird.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm November 9th. That's why it's weird.
Oh, I was going to say, are you from Bath, New York?
Oh.
So his father, he was born to his father, Joseph James DeAngelo Sr., and Catherine Louise DeGrotte. He had two sisters, Rebecca and Connie, and a brother named John. His father was a senior member in the Navy, so they traveled a lot. And he was, he was up there as far as like, he served in World War II, all kinds of stuff, right?
All right.
Joe's family, though, was very cold and didn't spend too much time with the kids. The kids were kind of on their own. The mother and father were kind of like doing their own thing. And now, as his father and them traveled a lot, they traveled to like places like Oklahoma City, New York, Florida. They went overseas too. They actually went to Germany for a while. And,
oh wow! Yeah,
so it's there in the year 1954. At the age of 9, this is where one of the trouble spots of Joseph James DeAngelo's life took place.
Okay.
One thing that he witnessed, which sparked future problems and fetishes that made up his mindset, was the fact that he witnessed two servicemen in their early 20s raping his 16-year-old sister right in front of him.
Ah, dang.
Yeah.
Wow, you would think that would make him against it.
Yes,
dang.
Right. He wouldn't say, but the thoughts are that he never intervened because he might have been enjoying it, even at the age of 9.
Wow.
Wow.
That's twisted.
Yes, that's a little twisted already.
Dang.
This was something that he admitted that years later it did scar him, and he did have dreams and memories that didn't go away. But it could have fed into his fetishes too. So that's one thing.
Ew.
Yeah, pretty disgusting.
Well, I did not know that.
Yeah. See, this is the deep nuggets that I'm getting right now.
Dang.
His family would leave Germany 3 years later and the incident was never reported. So not only did his sister not talk about it, but he didn't either. Joe grew up a very quiet guy, very outdoorsy. When he got into a fight, his middle school friend said that he beat this kid up. And when everyone was, trying to give Joe credit or give him props, Joe didn't want to talk about it anymore. Just brushed it off, didn't care.
Wow.
He got along, though, when they moved to this small city in Northern California called Rancho Cordova. Their next-door neighbors, he was more of a family member to them than he was to his own family, meaning he would hang out with the family members' brothers and their sisters. They actually threw him a graduation party at middle school, and his picture actually hung in that family's house 50 years later until this all came out in the clear. So
okay, dang.
Yeah, so he actually got along with them much better. His mom was running around with another man at this point, and the father just didn't care.
So she just left the husband?
No, she was there, but she was just, everyone in the city knew that she was like sleeping around with another guy, and the husband like heard through the grapevine, and he just didn't care. He was over.
Oh,
he's
probably doing his own thing.
pretty much. I mean, that's how it's going.
That sounds like a very emotionally empty family. Everybody's in their own world.
Absolutely, that you hit it right on the head. I mean, like you have two homes next to each other. The one he's living in just doesn't care about anybody but themselves, and then the one next door is all nurturing, and Joe's actually enjoying being with him because he's learning to fish with the brothers and the father, and the father is treats him like another son basically. So he's getting his love there. All
right.
So as he moved to Rancho Cordova and they're in those two homes, he attended the Mills Middle School. He graduated there. Then in 1964, he would graduate at Folsom High School, which is also in Rancho Cordova. Out of high school, to be like his father and to get brownie points, he joined the Navy, and he went to Vietnam right when the war was raging the most. And
Dang.
you think about it, you think, man, like if he would have went to Vietnam, things would have been different had he went and he was actually a part of maybe the Army, because the Army went on land and had to fight the Viet Cong, and there's a good chance you could die. And he was in the Navy, and he was on a ship that was just bombarding from the ocean. And if you know that whole area of Vietnam, it was mostly inland, so he never faced live combat, ever.
Oh,
Wow.
so he went for the ride.
Yeah, he did. He went for the ride, and he served 3 years on USS Canberra. I don't know if I'm spelling that or pronouncing that right. As a damage control man, which is if the ship gets hit, you have to make repairs, blah, 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 save people.
Yeah.
It never got hit. Never faced any kind of combat. They just shelled from the outside. Yeah, so he spent 3 years over there really just twiddling his thumbs for the most part.
I mean, he had his uniform on.
Yeah, somewhat. But then he came back with no purpose, and he wanted to do something. So in 1968, he had dreams of becoming a highway patrolman. So he joined Sierra College and graduated 3 years in police science from there. Then he moved on to criminal justice and got his master's in 1971 at Sacramento State.
So this is a smart
Criminal
man.
justice.
Yes, criminal justice. So
this is a very smart guy.
this is a very, very smart guy. And he learned the techniques of being a detective, which I'm very jealous of. And and he
He
also...
didn't deserve that.
Yeah, right. I mean, this all plays into his story because he actually studies burglary, the science of it. I mean, this will play into everything that happens.
All right. So
yeah.
we're dealing with a smart person so far.
Absolutely. But
Very smart.
before he moved to Sacramento State, however, he was at Sierra College, and a young 18-year-old student by the name of Bonnie was enjoying her day in the quad of the school when she looked over and saw a pudgy 22-year-old, and he's a little chunky, but he's got sandy blonde hair, white guy, jeans and a shirt, not dressed too nice, just like whatever, right? Staring at her.
Regular guy.
Yeah, just a regular guy. And he stares at her, and she looks over at him, and he gets the cojones to go up to her and start to talk to her. And she wasn't attracted to him physically, but it was the way he came off confident and the way he was talking to her with respect, which she liked. So the two struck up a conversation. Before they knew it, they began to date. He was very outgoing, and the thing that she thought about him right away was that he had endless energy. So he was like one of our friends that's just, it seems like they got ADHD. Like they're always wanting to do something.
Yeah.
They're not tired,
Yeah.
And Joe, like I said before, was very outgoing. He took her fishing. She'd never been fishing before. They went hiking. They went on. They did bike riding together. He had a motorcycle. He taught her how to fire guns because he had a few guns. And
all right.
Yeah, she got. He started to hang with her, doing her hobbies, things like that. And he helped her get her very own .22 caliber gun and her own permit to carry. So they were from right now. I mean, you wouldn't think anything's bad, nothing's whatever. But the two are
He
getting
seems like the perfect guy.
Yeah. Like he's settling down. He's done his militaries. They're in college right now, or they're finishing up college, and they're doing really good together. And they actually, at this time, they're still at Sacramento State. They wind up transferring to Sacramento State from Sierra College. So they're at the same college together. And one day, he picked her up from school, and they drove up by the American River. Joe was on his Harley or his motorcycle, was revving it really, he was going faster than usual. She's holding on, pretty scared. Joe turns off the road and goes up this hill. And it's a dangerous hill. and he goes over. It looks like he's going to go over the cliff, but he knows where he's going, but she has no idea. She's screaming, yelling, scared. She looks at him from the, trying to get his attention to slow down, and he has a smile on his face. He's enjoying her fear.
Wow.
Yeah. This bothered her to no end. And the couple argued for days about it because she was saying, how could you take my life into your hands like that? And, you could have crashed and we could have died. And he just kept laughing it off. He loved it. He loved it.
Wow.
What a jerk.
Yep. So at the same time, Bonnie's father was a World War II veteran as well. So him and Joe were talking like crazy because they were swapping war stories. Now, Joe was, Bonnie's dad was actually on the ground fighting Germans. And Joe, like I said, really wasn't. He was on a ship doing much to do about nothing. But he was making it like he was like this crazy, he actually had cut by accident the tip of his pinky finger off. And he was bragging that it was a bullet that shot his finger off. He was in combat, but he was never in combat. So he was dressing up his
So he
story.
was making up stories?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes, he was.
And they said it, huh?
Yeah, exactly. And it's funny because he was getting along with her family too, really good. And she was like just, thinking, man, he's weaseled himself into the family. What if this doesn't work out? And she was just trying to be she was just trying to make things work, but she was seeing a lot of red flags. And one of it was one thing is, I'm gonna get a little graphic here, is that Joe was her first sexual partner, and it didn't seem right when she told her friends what had actually happened a few times after they were intimate together. Basically, Joe would brag.
He raped her.
Huh?
He raped her.
No, well, here's the deal. Let's see if Gabby would agree with this being good for someone that has no experience and to do this to your partner.
Okay.
But he would basically, he bragged to her that he could stop during ejaculation, stop himself from fully climaxing, then restart the process all over and go again. So
What?
instead of going one time and stopping, he would go 4 to 5 times on average. And
What?
yeah, I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but this would this would cause Bonnie pain because the elongated sexual experience. Like, it wouldn't be no like 5 to 10 minutes. We're talking maybe an hour and a half. And if you're doing all those kind of motions, certain areas get a little maybe raw, dry, sensitive, maybe rip, tear, just things of that nature. And it was painful for Bonnie. But this
Yeah, it's like too much.
yeah, like, what do you think? I mean
Yeah, that's too much. I mean, I don't want to go too detailed, but I mean, 2 times, maybe 3, but in a full day, I don't know about 5, like back to back. He's just going and going. She gets no break. Like, that's too much.
absolutely, and that's what I wanted to say, and you said it right better than I could. It's too much. It's too much at one time, painful, and Joe didn't care. That was what he was into, and he didn't care if it caused Bonnie pain or soreness after. Didn't care.
Wow.
So
So you were selfish already, huh?
oh yeah, already showing bad signs. Despite all this, though, they continue to date, and but however, just 8 months into their relationship, Joe proposes to Bonnie. Bonnie also gets a little selfish right here because she doesn't like the ring that he gives her because she thinks it's too simple, even though it's an heirloom, he says, from his grandma. She says it's too simple, it's small, the ring itself, and then the stone isn't that big. And then she wasn't too keen on being married that early anyway. She felt she was too young.
Yeah.
So as they stay together, they're at Sacramento State University. She sees more problems with him breaking rules, like on the side. Like in the area that they live in Rancho Cordova, it's, kind of wide open, and they have like areas to, hunt and stuff like that. And he would hunt without a license or fish without a fishing license. And she was brought up very strict, so the little things were starting to bug her. He killed a deer in a non-deer season, gutted it right in front of her.
What?
Yeah, he shot a bird with a .22, and it was like a dove, so it wasn't even like one of those birds that you can kill.
What?
Yeah, and then the twisted part is, while the bird was still breathing, when it was shot out of the air, he pushes the head off with his finger, just yeah, and it didn't.
Oh, that guy. He was already nuts.
Yeah,
He was
he's
very careless.
showing a lot of signs already.
Oh yeah. You're seeing, and then here's one that how you get on a bicycle and maybe a stray dog will chase you a little bit and you have to kind of like ride away real fast. Well, he's on a motorcycle and he picks up Bonnie to take her to class, and they're leaving the house and there's this German Shepherd that starts chasing them. Now, a German Shepherd isn't a small dog; it's a big dog or whatever.
Yeah.
I can't say if it was, because it's not said here if it was actually trying to attack them. But it's just said that the dog was running with the motorcycle and kind of chasing the motorcycle, without a hesitation at all. Joe slows down and pulls out a .22 and blows the dog's head off.
Dang.
Yeah, with Bonnie right next to him or behind him on the motorcycle.
Dang.
Yeah.
That guy is cold. He has no heart.
Yes, and we'll come to see, and as we move along, that he doesn't like animals. He's not in favor of animals.
I can see it already.
Yeah. So as Bonnie's discomfort grows and grows, the one thing, all right, what's the tipping point, do you think? Let me ask you guys a question. What's the tipping point of Bonnie actually saying, all right, enough's enough? If you guys get this.
Okay, you already... The tipping point...
This is random as hell, by the way.
It's random?
Yeah.
The tipping point is... man. I don't know. He goes streaking in college or something.
No, but that would be more understandable.
I would say they have, like, herself, they have a family pet or something, and he kills it, like, without remorse in a very disgusting way.
Yeah, that's going along with how he rolls, but that's actually Matt was closer with this one. It had to do with school. And she just got fed up because, remember, she's very strict, but he wanted her to cheat on a test. They had one class together, and he wasn't doing too good in it. He actually was getting a D, and he wanted her to cheat on for him on the test, and she refused. And he tried to use the fact that they were engaged, and tried to use the fact that, hey, we're a team now, blah blah. You got to help me out. And he just kept pushing and kept pushing, and she kept telling him, look, I'm a Christian girl, I don't do this, blah blah blah. And he didn't care. He just kept pushing the issue, and then finally she's like, you know what, that's it. She called him to the house the next day, and the family was there. She didn't want to be alone, and he threw a tantrum. What? Yeah, in the front room he threw a tantrum and was like getting high-pitched voice and was saying, you can't do this to me, we're meant to be together. And it was not something where like, hey, I gotta fix things, okay, I love you, stuff that you would want to say to fix a situation. He was making it about him only. And he made such a big fuss. When he turned around, he like took his hand and threw, because he had the ring that she gave him back, and threw it in the yard. So after Joe left, her family felt bad. Her father, her mother, her sister and her brothers, and even her aunt were out there in the front yard looking for that ring, because they were like, you know what, we should return it to Joe. It's his grandma's. And they looked all day. Even the neighbor came and helped them. And then they figured out he never threw the ring. He put on an act. You know? And so they're out there all day looking for the ring, and the ring was never there. Joe kept it. Yeah.
He was a drama queen.
Oh,
that was pretty funny, though.
That's understandable, though, from her part because, yeah, he didn't respect her values or anything. So at that point, I mean, what kind of respect and love would she have for the rest of her life being with this guy?
Yeah, she did the smart thing.
Oh, yeah. And so the next part, as I described, is something that unfortunately will pop up a lot as we go on. And here is the first time that we know of that Mr. DeAngelo showed his very creepy self. It was 2 days later at about 1 a.m. at Bonnie's house. She got a tapping on the window. When she looked up out the window, Joseph was looking right at her with a 6-shooter pointed right at her face. Yeah.
Be quiet.
Joe whispered with a gun to her face, "Get dressed. We're going to Nevada.
We're going to
get
Nevada.
married."
To get married.
She was terrified.
Heck no.
Yeah, exactly. She was terrified. She rolls off the bed and runs to her dad's room, which is the World War II veteran, right? She explains that Joe is out there with a gun, and she tells her, and so her dad says very calmly, "Go to the bathroom, lock yourself inside." Now, what do you think happens, knowing now that your daughter is being threatened with a gun by a guy that you know is emotionally unstable because of the breakup? What do you think happens?
The dad goes outside, grabs his gun because he's a veteran, and a gunfight pursues, or even before a gunfight pursues, he shoots him, and then probably kills the whole family.
Nope. What do you think, Gabby?
I think I'm going to guess the dad just goes down trying to talk sense into him.
Bingo! You got it. Now, and as Gabby got it, I want to just preference this as well. Is this, you know how there's always an opportunity, or there's always a situation in these stories where a serial killer gets away or gets a huge break in the beginning to where he could have been locked up, but something prevented him from doing that, and then he just graduates, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, Gabby called it straight up. The father went out there with respect because of him being an Army veteran, the fact that he knew that Joe was going to college to become a police officer, and he figured, if I go out there or I call the cops, it's going to ruin this man's career. And yeah, I don't want him for my daughter, but I feel bad for him. And that's how he approached it.
Wow.
So the two went out there talking.
That's a good man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he had values. I mean, they just don't make him like that anymore from the World War II era.
Yeah.
But he reasoned with him and told him that very thing. Like, hey, man, it's just best to walk away. My daughter's not going to be with you. I'm cutting you a break. Cut us a break, blah, blah. He was straight up with him. And to Joe's credit, Joe respected him and just walked away. So,
Wow.
Bonnie, though, is scarred. She does not want to go back to college. She actually quits in fear of Joe. And she winds up...
Yeah, I would have to.
Yeah. Knowing that your dad didn't do anything. And then when you ask your dad, hey, what happened with Joe? He said it's over with and done. So he doesn't even tell her what happens till years later.
Wow.
Yeah. Joe goes on an internship with a police department, but then lands a job in that very city where he grew up in 1973, Rancho Cordova, California, which is just outside Visalia, California. And if you need to know where that's at, it's 100.
Oh, yeah, that's not that...
Huh?
It's not that far.
Yeah, it's about 130 miles east of Frisco.
Oh, all right. So wait, that was the last encounter he had with Bonnie? That was it? He left her alone?
Yeah, Bonnie was in the clear.
All right, cool, cool.
Bonnie won't come up in our story till probably to like episode 3 or 4. That's when she'll come up again.
Oh, dang.
Whoa.
She makes a return, but not in the way you think. It'll be
Oh, man.
yeah. So at the same time, though, however, just months later, after he gets the internship, he finishes that, he transfers over to Rancho Cordova, next to Visalia. He finds and marries a woman that is almost similar in appearance to Bonnie, and her name is Sharon Marie Huddle in 1973. So,
Wow.
yeah. So the small
Wow. So I guess,
Oh, go ahead.
not to cut you off, but there's a certain look he likes in women then, huh?
Yes, this woman was blonde, about 5'10", medium build.
Dang.
Yeah, he was
Hey,
into
how tall is
He's a
he?
tall guy?
Yeah, he was 5'10" as well.
Oh, okay. Well, same
Yeah,
height.
Same height, yeah. So the small town in Northern California called Rancho Cordova is where they called home. Being close, it's a Navy city or town. It's near two bases, naval bases, which a lot of families train, and they're transient type of people. They come and go because they get assignments, just like his dad did. They'll be there for like 3-4 years, then move again, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so they get like all kinds of assignments from around the world and whatnot. The city mostly had new tract homes in the late 60s and early 70s being built, which is like, how you see like they'll plow a big land, area out, build a few homes for, show homes, and then they start building the homes similar to those. And there's like a lot of cul-de-sacs, a lot of turnarounds, only like 1 or 2 ways to enter and exit.
Yeah, my sister lived in one
Okay.
like that in Washington before she moved.
Yeah, so you know how they're built. Then they also have like drainage areas or flood control channels next to them, washways or whatever. So they're all kind of built the same. That will play a huge part as we move on.
All right.
Because in the future, after when he's committing his stuff, people start to think, is he a builder? Does he know the plans for these homes? Because he's just familiar with how the houses are built and the ways to get in and out of those neighborhoods. So most of the homes are built the same size, different small differences, same styles, nice front yard, usually 2 front doors and a bay window, a huge bay window in the front, and always with a sliding glass door in the back and with spacious yards. So this is where his reign of terror begins.
This is it.
This is it. This is where it starts. So
All right.
Sergeant Richard Shelby, who was the lead detective and police officer for the Visalia, the Rancho Cordova Police Department,
Okay.
was on the hunt for a burglar in the area. The offender was not your usual burglar. He stole rings, silver coins, jewelry that really didn't add up too much, and he would steal sometimes 1 earring out of a set of 2. He would go through pictures in either photo albums or frames, taking only the pictures or cutting out the pictures of the females or the young girls.
Ew.
Yes. And also what made him different from any other burglar that Shelby encountered in his past, being a cop, was the fact that this burglar would turn the house upside down, pulling out drawers, eating food, leaving it on the counter. He would take out underwear, men's underwear, put it in the... Yeah, he would put it in the hallway, right? And then he would take the women's underwear and he would put it on the bed all nice and neat, and sometimes he would leave little presents, sort of like ejaculating on them and things like that.
Oh.
And remember, this is way before DNA, so...
Wow.
They didn't really connect or keep any of that stuff because they didn't figure they had to.
He's nasty.
Yeah, he spends a ton of time in these houses. Like he waits till these people are gone, So he scoped the houses, and he also puts tables or chairs with plates on them in front of the front door, so that if the front door opens, the plates make the noise because the table or chair knocks over, and then he knows he's got to leave the house. And he would leave like the garage halfway open or the sliding glass door open so he can make quick exits. So this guy was smart.
Wow. He was very smart.
Yeah. He was always
Very creepy too.
Oh, very creepy, very creepy. He scoped the houses a lot. He would strike when people were away, but this would change in 1973, late 1973. He would start to be a peeping Tom, staring into houses while women were sleeping.
Wow.
Yeah, he would then escalate to what is called a cat burglar, where the cat burglar is more... The definition of a cat burglar is more of a guy or a woman who is just... They get off on getting as close as they possibly can to a person sleeping or in a situation to where they almost get caught. And so he was breaking into houses while people were sleeping, snooping through the stuff, snooping through the house, and sometimes being a voyeur and looking at the females. And in a couple cases where he turned it up a notch, he touched their breast while they were sleeping. He was caught by one woman half naked from the waist down. He, on a couple other incidences, he would tap on their window when he got tired of just looking, and then they'd look out the window and they'd see him with a ski mask and just his blonde hair, and he was naked from the waist down, touching himself.
Oh.
Dang.
Yeah, this guy was he was revving it up, dude. He was revving it up.
Yeah, he was on one, man.
Yes.
Yeah, he was on one.
How the hell would that get him? I don't get it. How does he get off of that? Women seen... They just freaked out.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it came off as fear. Like, this, the fear of it was the fact that... And here's the first time that, and you're going to hear this a lot as we move on, too, in this story. One woman actually gets a glimpse of his manhood, and it's not much to brag about. She says he has a small penis.
He wasn't packing much heat, huh?
No, he wasn't. And that particular part literally will play a big part in this story as we move along.
Well, at least he had something big.
Yeah, the part is not big. Let's just say that.
Dang, dude.
Well, that explains it. He oh dear.
He's got to compensate,
Wow.
right?
Yeah, he had to compensate some way.
Mm-hmm. So these people and the women that actually get a stare at him through the window notice that a couple times he actually has the brazen attitude of taking off his ski mask and looking at them while he's touching himself, and has a knife in the other hand. So he's a scary dude, and two women that seen him like that were like, they looked into his eyes and he had a blank stare. And then when you think, when you can't stare no more and you're going to look away, he grins, or he gives a smirk, like a smile, like a deep, dirty smile, like yes. You know what I mean? Like just...
He's empty inside.
Yes. The police start a task force, and they dub him the Cordova Cat Burglar. And the odds of catching a peeping Tom at that time, because of the neighborhood, the people did say too, when they called the cops, he took off. Like, he was so fast. He would jump fences and just like go through yards, and he was very agile for his weight and his build. It looked like it was a little pudgy, and they were like, man, this guy is just, he's trained, like he's super fast. So the amount of new housing, the lack of big police force, you needed a miracle basically to come up with any kind of thing on this. And with all that's going on, Joseph is a police officer at this time. So
That's true. Did he ever show up for himself?
well, here's the thing. No one in this story at all will ever suspect him of doing any of this. And
Really?
yeah, and nobody knows to this day, because this is part of the things that I would ask him as, if I had a chance to ask him, how did you do this while you were on the police force, while you were on the clock, when married to your wife? How did you get away, and how did you do this as a police officer?
Wait, he would do this while he was on the clock?
Yes.
Get out of here.
Yes, he was on the clock and would be doing all this stuff.
That's what I'm saying. When the cops were called, he never immediately went and changed and showed up, being a police officer looking for himself.
Maybe he did. See, these are the answers to
Maybe.
the questions that we don't know. That's a funny one. I didn't think of
Maybe.
He's all, what do
You
you
pull
look
up
like?
and say, what does he look like? Oh, okay. We'll be on it. And
Yeah.
then pull up and 30
Yeah,
minutes later.
We're going to find this guy. I know who he is.
the woman goes, he had a small penis. He's like, are you sure about that? I've heard he has a big penis.
That's the one he killed.
Yeah.
Hey.
So
So far, so good, man. So far, so good.
it's funny because one night, well, it's not funny, but in September of 1973, there's a knock on a door of a woman around 10 o'clock at night. She hears the noise but ignores it and figures it's just, she doesn't want to answer it. She's at home with her son.
Mhm.
Just a minute later, as she goes to get something to drink because the door woke her up from the fridge, she sees Joseph trying to break in through the back, and he's trying to get into the sliding glass door. She locks it. He runs around. He's trying to get into another window. She goes and grabs her gun. As she grabs her gun and puts the bullets in the chamber, Joseph throws his body through the glass door. He just, boom, barrel rushes, gets straight through the door, and before she could grab the gun and put it to his head, he grabs it, grabs her, knocks her out. The gun fires, but into the air.
Wow.
Yeah, she's knocked out. Her son calls 911. Joseph leaves without doing any other damage other than knocking her out. And
Dang.
the police find her on the ground, passed out. The gun and the prowler are gone. He steals her gun.
He's not there.
2 weeks later, Detective Shelby is out and about when he gets a call about a prowler jumping fences, jumping yards, even jumping rooftop to rooftop, peering into people's windows like upside down.
What the heck?
Like
Wow.
Like, think about it.
Like Spider-Man?
Yeah, exactly, dude. Exactly like Spider-Man. You know how you, come upside down and look into the window?
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't have webs or nothing, Joe. I don't think he did, but
Maybe he did.
but he was leaning over the rooftops and looking into windows.
Get out of here.
This guy is on one, bro. On one.
Well, that makes sense though. He's gonna find any way because with the experience with the girlfriend, he wasn't afraid. He took risk.
Yeah,
That's true.
So he wasn't scared of
He
anything.
wasn't scared of dying.
he wasn't. Not at this time, he wasn't. So, with all this going on, Shelby gets to the area. They don't see anything. They don't hear anything. As the 4 cops are looking around, the neighbors kind of go back inside their house. As they drive around the corner, he sees a garage door half open. Shelby gets the thought of, you know what, let me check this out. He goes in there into the house, and he finds, or into the garage, he finds a big stick filled with blood, and it looks like skin.
What?
Yeah, so right away he radios to his partner to come in. They go in there with the guns and with a flashlight. They enter the house, go into the family room, and fortunately it's not a human being, but it is the family dog, a big family dog. It was beaten to death. And Shelby said that to this day he feels for that dog because it looked like the dog was trying to get underneath the family bed itself, like the king size bed. It was trying to get away, and Joseph was beating the living crap out of it until it died. And the stomach was disemboweled.
No.
Yeah. Pretty rough scene, even for a cop back then. So As the burglaries picked up, though, people bought dogs for protection. But as the burglaries continued, the dog killings did as well. So, as the people either...
So nothing stopped this guy, huh? He was going to get whatever was in his way out of the way.
Yes, and he got creative, too, killing the dogs. It wasn't just beating them to death. He would stab them. He would poison them. Things of that nature. They just all started winding up dying. And
Wait, he would poison them?
yeah, he used poison as well.
Wow.
And for the dogs that, maybe he was surprised about, he was using dog repellent. So
Oh, wow.
What is that?
it's sort of like a spray that you could spray dogs that are very aggressive, and it makes them very disoriented. So it covers their nose, it gives them a real weird smell, and they just don't want to bother people because they're too busy. It's sort of like if they get peanut butter or something annoying on their face and they just spend all their time trying to lick it off and calm down or whatever. So it's a pepper.
Like the bear spray?
Yeah, pretty much. It's something like that it works for dogs. You can spray it in their eyes or on their nose, and it totally distracts them.
Wow.
Dang.
Yeah, so at this time, after that last dog killing, or a few more dog killings and a few more break-ins, in late 1973, everything just up and stops. So 40 break-ins, countless incidents of dogs being killed and things being stolen, and everything stops. And that is episode 1 of the Golden State Killer.
Ah!
Oh man, why you do that?
as he ends his what is it called, Rancho Cordova cat burglar saga. So he ends that.
Wow.
Yep.
This was the story of the Golden State Killer Part 1. If you want to hear the rest of the parts of this story, just stay tuned. We'll break it down for y'all. So with that being said, we're signing off and getting ready for Part 2.